Today on the channel, we're back at it again with another round of big rubber guys from Collect Major. This time, we got the First Lady of Wrestling, Missy Hyatt, and we got Rick, the model, Martel.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Big Rubber Guys unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got Rick the Model Martel, and we got Missy Hyatt. But for all your Big Rubber Guy needs, better hit up Collect Major. But for everything else wrestling related, hit up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Got to get a deal out there. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there and check out the other review of Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard from this wave. Unbox those two together, unboxing these two here together. And we're going to start ladies first channel. We're going to start with Missy Hyatt. Me as a little kid in the 80s, I don't know if I understood the allure of Missy Hyatt when I was a real little kid. Many years later, I did for sure, but she was a little bit ahead of her time, or at least ahead of me in my age bracket. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But Missy Hyatt, one time, looking only like a Missy Hyatt could look, and she's still around making conventions and stuff, and it's crazy to think this is the first ever Missy Hyatt figure. We've never had a figure from her ever until now. Be interested to see how well this one sells. Will they make a Major Bendy of her, a Major Star of her? Will we see more Missy Hyatt stuff? I guess we'll wait and see what happens. I wouldn't be shocked to see Power Town take a try at her, but I don't know how that's going to work. Probably not very well. Power Town, there's some struggles over there. I don't know if you guys have heard, but it'd be interesting to see if we ever get another Missy Hyatt figure. And I like the idea of this one a little bit based off the Miss Elizabeth figure once upon a time, which a lot of people call the First Lady of Wrestling as well. Pick your poison, choose your own adventure. And you know what I say, choose my own adventure. Gentlemen prefer blondes. There you go. We're going to go Missy Hyatt over Elizabeth. There it is. But Missy looking only like a Missy could look back in the 80s. We'll say this is UWF Missy once upon a time. Missy Hyatt right there. Collect Major, big rubber guys, 18 and up on this one. It is not a toy. It is not a toy. Nothing on the sides here. On the back of that big cross sell, no real Easter eggs on the back of this package here. We knew about all these figures. And I believe this is the last set from their old factory for the big rubber guys, as the quality issues, or at least the face details, maybe a little bit lacking in these. We saw it with Arn and Tully. Not the best work for the Big Rubber Guys line so far. Still good figures, just not great figures, maybe. And we might see some of that with Missy Hyatt as well, or she has plastic prison. We're going to pop old Missy out. See you later. And we're going to pop something here today on the channel. But let's dive into Missy Hyatt. Let's look at her accessory. First thing she has, a microphone. I am guessing we're going to see this same microphone with Sean Mooney when that figure does release. But we do have that. Now this fits in her hand. Nice and snug. I like that. She's got a good grip here. She looks like she knows what she's doing to grip one of these things. She's ready to go. It's time for Missy's Manor once upon a time. But looking good here. I don't got any problems with that hand holding in there. Diving into the head sculpt here. I would never in a million years know this is Missy Hyatt, though. She does got that stereotypical 80s big teased up blonde hair looking good. You got two eyes, a nose, a mouth, but no ears. I'm assuming there's ears behind the hair. Black eyebrows on her, red lipstick with kind of a, what am I doing look on her face. Not quite Missy Hyatt. I guess a good try, but once again, the initial renders to the final product a little bit off on this entire wave, and the Major team has said that and mentioned that. Constant learning, constant improvement. You know, they've taken a lot of steps forward, maybe a little bit of a step back with this wave. Anxiously awaiting Demolition next. We'll see how that looks. That's going to be an all-timer possibly. We'll see how it looks here on the channel. But Missy, a little bit off in the face department. This actually looks like a lady I used to work with when I was a kid at the grocery store. So not terrible, but does look like her a little bit. We do got the coat, I guess, jacket over the top in a nice blue color. Looking like all kinds of cleavage with this one. You know I'm here for that. I'm a big cleavage guy. Aren't we? Aren't we all big cleavage guy? Oh, what, Todd? No, I'm talking about Beaver Cleavage, the wrestler back in the day. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, I guess I like that too. I like that too, Todd McFarlane, but looking good right here. Got a little bit of a bracelet here riding up on her hand. You got the detail on the painted nails. I like that, the red painted nails. Got a watch over here, of course, ready to tell time. Got a nice soft good skirt, looking very good. And she's got legs, and she knows how to use them like a young Billy Gibbons once upon a time. Got the blue high heels to match her outfit, and the ensemble looks very good. But then if you want to get crazy, you got the Velcro soft goods, and she's ready to go. She could take that off, and you get her a little bit of her swim gear here. Looking awfully cheeky in the back. How about that? Looking good, old Missy Hyatt. On the bottom of the feet, no major, no nothing. Usually they have stuff stamped on the bottom of the feet. I am a little bit nervous that she's not going to stand. I shouldn't be nervous. Kudos to the major team, because we know some of these female figures, especially high-heeled female figures, be it Marvel Legends, Hasbro, whatever it may be, fall over. This one stands fairly good on its own, much like Elizabeth did not do once upon a time, as we do got Elizabeth here, and there's no way in a million years she would ever stand for us. But I do like the attention to detail here between these two. Is there is definitely a tribute between these two, the Missy Hyatt going back to the Elizabeth figure, and this is the first ever Big Rubber Guys or Big Rubber Gals figure we've ever received. So I do like what we're going for here. Very similar stylized here. I like this a lot. Boy, Elizabeth, though, you know, you go back to the 80s, people would be on fire about this one, saying, what is up with the hairdo? What's up with the face and the makeup? This doesn't look like Elizabeth. So it's all in how you look at it. You know, all these years later, this is nostalgic, this is iconic, but let's be honest, the face isn't very good on here. So I don't know. It is what it is, but Liz got a heck of a pearl necklace right there. Oh, the ladies love a pearl necklace. I've found that out over the years. If you're going to do anything, you give them a pearl necklace. I know that. And that's what Liz has there. Not the best, though. Not the best. And I think I would think that way with Missy Hyatt either way. I like Missy Hyatt enough. I remember her more from her time in WCW in the early 90s, up to her Nasty Boys time. But as far as the pantheon of Big Rubber Guys and gals over the years, she's probably not going to be my favorite either way. Even if she was a Dynamite figure, I definitely prefer the Andres and some of the other ones we've had in the past. But it is what it is. It's for you. Pick it up. If not, you can pass on it. You don't have to get everything. But now we're going to dive over to Rick the Model, the Martel. Got my shirt on here today. Rick Martel, one of the all-timers, a guy we need to get back under a Legends deal. But we are getting some figures, as we've seen. Grapplers and Gimmicks giving us a Rick Martel figure. Now Collect Major giving us one. And very cool that we're getting the model era, because when I was getting ready for this video, I always get some comparison stuff, and I totally spaced that we did get a LJN of Rick Martel once upon a time, but that was more Strike Force related, and one of the most epic waits I've ever had for as my childhood, waiting for the UPS guy to bring me Strike Force. I've told that story numerous times, but whenever I hear Rick Martel, I remember just sitting at the doorstep every single day or sitting outside waiting for that UPS guy to get me my Strike Force. And now we're getting Rick Martel in a more classic look. Strike Force was classic, but he went to that next level in the WWF here. But he had been an AWA champion, as we do know, once upon a time. But very cool to get Rick Martel from his model years. And we got Hasbro's back in the day. We've had some Rick Martel figures. Looking good in the blue department. Used some of the same paint with Missy Hyatt, I guess is what we did. This one, plenty of accessories with it as well, which is nice to see. Rick the Model Martel, Big Collect Major, Glamour Shot, all the usual hallmarks on the package. Same backing we saw with Missy Hyatt, got the UPC, all that fun stuff. Once again, I do save my packaging on these. I'm a crazy person. They're really starting to add up on us, but is what it is. Woo! He really smells like a factory. He's just fresh from the factory is what it smells like here. We're going to get the old model out here. Yeah, we're going to stick it off to the side. There you go. See you later. Goodbye. But we do got Arrogance here. And I remember as a kid just thinking, oh, I wonder what that smells like. And, you know, they always played it up that it smelled terrible or something like, wonder what that smells like. And then we'll never forget him spraying it in the eyes of Jake the Snake. I remember just thinking that was like the craziest thing we've ever seen. Just couldn't believe it. He blinded Jake the Snake. He blinded him. And Arrogance, and I love that he had it out of like a big, usually this would be for chemicals for killing bugs around the house. But as a little kid, I didn't put two and two together. It's just, oh yeah, that's what people would have for perfume and they're spraying it around all the time. Crazy what you think of here, but it is Arrogance. It says so right on there. It is a rubber accessory, so it's fitting the Big Rubber Guy stuff with the rubber accessory. Now we're diving into Rick the Model Martel. He does got the sweatshirt. The sweatshirt can be removable. A little hard to get off, I do think, but you can get it off if you need to. Very classic Rick Martel at the time wearing that. Ready for a tennis match is what he always looked like. But we're going to dive into the head sculpt here. And man, oh man, very rough with these glasses. I know what they were going for with this. It just didn't work out that way. It looks like he's got 2 black eyes, or like they painted over his eyes or something. It almost looks like when you see a picture as like a joke in a cartoon and a character's dead and they like have the eyes closed with the X over it. It kind of gives me that vibe, but it just does not look good. I mean, I understand what they were going for here, but it just does not work. Very unfortunate. I wish they wouldn't have tried to be so detailed. And I think that's the problem. They tried to be more detailed than they really needed to be. So it does ruin the head sculpt on this one. I would love them to have another shot at Rick Martel, but at the same time, you know, we're spending $55 or something on these figures. It's rough, especially when you see the original prototype or whatever, the image is what it's supposed to be, and this is the final product. I know they don't want that this way, but a little rough on here, a little rough in the glasses. Not a big fan of that. But we do got the eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth, and then you got that beautiful hair Rick Martel sported once upon a time. 2 grip-in hands on Rick Martel. He can hold the arrogance if he needs to. You got to be able to hold that. You do got the baby blue going on in the sweater over the top. You got it in the trunks, the knee pads, and the boots. Even got those patented Rick Martel laces out, looking good here. Has anybody else ever worn their laces like this? So iconic with Rick Martel. It's just one of those weird things we all remember. Forgot to mention the wrist tape on this one. No articulation on either of these figures. I think most people know that by now. Not sure if this Rick Martel would be great in the playing days. I mean, it's okay. I guess you could do some things with him here, but not an iconic pose like some of the other figures we've had. Like Arn and Tully, those are great playing figures. And Rick Martel, once upon a time, a great playing figure in the LJN days. Young whippersnapper Rick Martel versus model Rick Martel. Choose your own adventure here. Very cool. I would never guess these are the same figures, though. Never in a million years. Pretty close size-wise, though, but very cool to see the yin and yang of Rick Martel from his time in the WWF. Very, very cool. But Rick Martel, unfortunately, could have been a little bit better. The glasses really do hurt this figure a lot. Could be my least favorite big rubber guy of the year, which is unfortunate to hear, but you got to tell the truth. It's unfortunate. So hopefully, maybe they could redo this, fix that, maybe give him the purple or pink gear. I'd be here for that repaint. Maybe do it as a special deal since you already got the mold. Maybe it'll be cheaper the second go around. Maybe that's a possibility. They could do it something like the Dusty Rhodes repaint they did as a, what was that, a WrestleCon exclusive. Maybe they could do something like that for Rick Martel. Would love to see that because Rick Martel, we need this as a big rubber guy. We're not going to get an LJN. Would love to see this again, and I think that's the best idea. Put this in pink, just do a repaint, but fix the glasses. I would be here for that. We'll see if that does happen in the future. But there it is, Rick the Model Martel and Missy Hyatt. You could almost make Missy the valet for him. Almost looks like they do go together with the very similar color patterns here. So not a bad piece of business when you put them together. Both of them, though, a little troublesome from the factory with the same wave, with Arn and Tully having some of the same issues. But I am looking forward to Demolition. I am looking forward to constant learning, constant improvement. We'll see if that happens in the next round of big rubber guys. Stay tuned for that. But what's your thoughts on these two? Did you pre-order them? Did you pick them up? Did you pass on them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, subscribe to this channel. We got videos every single day. We're unboxing all the big rubber guys. You guys know that by now. Subscribe to the channel. Check out my other YouTube channel. Subscribe over there as well. Patreon, YouTube channel memberships for even more content. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. As I always say, conveniently enough, the name of my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show, available every Tuesday wherever podcasts are found with video cast on YouTube. So for Rick, the Model Martel, and Missy Hyatt, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?